Oh, hell yeah. Ty Windisch joins us now from the Gyro Step Podcast to talk some Milwaukee Bucks. Ty, how are you this morning, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. I assume you're familiar with the movie Hoosiers?
I am familiar with the movie Hoosiers, yes.
Watch. Let's try this, Ty. Hey, Butch, you ever seen Hoosiers?
Come on. You suck. Yes, I've seen
Oh,
Hoosiers.
just checking.
There's a drunken idiot on the floor.
Okay. Just checking. I would assume you've seen basketball movies. Okay.
Yes, and Rudy.
Okay.
Basketball movies and Rudy.
Ty,
Perfect.
Ty, you know the iconic line of, I said my team is on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
I asked you after the Gary Trent Jr. acquisition, has John Horst now said, my team is on the floor? The floor is yours, Ty.
I think so, but I also thought so after the Taurean Prince edition. So maybe he's still not done. Assuming that he is done. I mean, it won't be another signing straight up. There'd have to be a trade or something. I mean, the roster is full at this point. But I think if this is all, then that's great. I mean, the whole message from the Bucks on the way out of last season, after the disappointing exit, was we need to get some continuity going. You know, we've had way too many changes in the past year. Dame and Giannis haven't had enough time. The coaching staff turnover, of course, has been well documented. So what they've done is they've kept this core of veterans together who ended last year, and then also just said, let's make Jay Crowder better, let's make Malik Beasley better, and let's make Pat Beverly better, and let's also make all three of those guys younger, and then just go in with our core with the right pieces around them, which we thought we had. Turns out maybe we didn't. And of course, also things were unsettled just because they built a roster that would fit Drew Holiday at point guard, and then he wasn't. And then it was Damian Lillard, and you just needed different players. So I think that this is the team that's going to be on the floor most likely, and I think I feel great about that as a Bucks person.
Your tweet, and you should follow Ty on Twitter at TI Windisch. That's WINDISCH. Your tweet ends with no picks, no contracts to offer, no second apron concerns, no problem, home run off season, A+, no notes, as they say in Hollywood. Nice tweet there. Another tweet said, Gary Trent Jr., greater sign Malik Beasley, DeLon Wright, greater sign Beverly, and Taurean Prince, greater sign Crowder. Fair assessment?
Yeah, I think so. I think Crowder, it seemed like, was going to be a great role player for the Bucks, and it just didn't work out. I don't know if it was the year off. I mean, he had a tough injury this year that really sapped him, but both playoffs just had nothing to offer, it felt like, when he was on the court, which you just can't afford. I think Prince, a lot younger, more shooting, more of an athletic player, can cover more ground defensively, which is a big deal. DeLon Wright versus Pat Bev, I think, is probably the closest. Pat Bev helped the Bucks. I think DeLon Wright with more of the combo guard, more of a shooter, I think. Probably at least as good of a defender, just because Pat Bev is, 38, and frankly, going to play in Israel next season. I think that tells you a little something about what the league determined his value was looking like for this upcoming year. And I certainly think Trent Jr. is just a pretty wild addition on a vet minimum. I mean, not the defensive player we probably wanted to start next to Dame, but just a higher caliber of offensive player than Beasley. I mean, a guy who scored 17, 18 points per game, a guy who takes as many twos as threes, doesn't just rely on making those threes, but also does make threes at a high volume, gets steals at a high volume. Again, I think he'll be able to do enough defensively, and I have no idea where teams will hide weak links against the Bucks offense next season, because Damian Lillard, Gary Trent Jr., Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez, it's just a wildly talented offensive group. So I cannot wait to watch this team play, frankly.
All right, so here's the question then. Obviously, you still have you still have Pat C, and you still have Bobby on your team. Are you content with that being your second unit and Bobby playing the center position? Is that you're good with that moving forward? Do you think that's a championship second unit?
It wasn't my preference. I think, frankly, if it doesn't work, what you'll do is just, Giannis or Brook is out there pretty much all the time, and you're almost like he's maybe the backup center in name, but not actually the backup center. But that wasn't my preference. I wanted one of the bigs to move, and I frankly wanted it to be Bobby Portis more. but I understand the continuity angle. I also think Jordan Tresky, who I recorded a Gary Trent Jr. pod with last night, made a great point. They're at a stage now where they have so much depth going into the year and so many guys you feel good about playing. If we get to February and it's like, okay, everything is in place, but we do need that. We need a center. We just need it. You can trade players, or maybe just one now with the second apron rules, and feel good about, we have enough guys to pick up the slack on the wing. Maybe we can move a wing to get a true big and have that optionality there. Maybe we do that before the season still. There's still time. Pat Connaughton or Bobby Portis could be on the move. But I think overall the depth is good enough and they're flexible enough. They can play different ways. They can have Giannis at the 5 lineups. I don't love it, but I'm good with it, to answer your question.
That's a good politically correct answer. I still think there's I don't, even though this team has gotten better, we talked about greater sign. I get that. I still don't think they're anywhere where they need to be in the East when you look at what every other team has done in the East. I think they're a top 4 team right now. I don't think they're a top, 7 or 8, like Tim Legler said a couple weeks ago. But if there is one more situation that needs to happen, what would that be in February possible?
Yeah, I think it's you're looking at, can you swap Pat Connaughton most likely? I mean, we'll see. I think there's an opportunity there for him to play better than he has the last year or two and get back on the radar. But if you go through right now, he is either 9th or 10th on the depth chart if you just go through all these players.
Yep.
And it depends where you put AJ Green.
Quick on the way out, anyone impressed you in Summer League real quick for the Bucks?
Chris Livingston, Ryan Rollins, and the rookie AJ Johnson. I mean, doesn't look ready, but doesn't look 2 years away to me. Has really fantastic ball handling, but I think Chris Livingston. Yeah. Livingston looks ready to help on the NBA level, which I did not totally expect, although I've been a huge fan of him.
All right. Next up, the only thing we got to worry about is getting Greece out of Group A in the Olympics.
Yes.
Let's go, Ty Windisch.
Let's do it.
Let's go, buddy.
First medal in Greek history. Let's do it, Giannis. Cement the legacy. I need it.
Serious question. Will you be rooting for them to get out of Group A or for a quick exit so that Giannis can go back to a pool chair for a month or so to rest?
I think he'll have enough pool chair time. I want to see him get some wins, man. It's been a hard couple of years.
Butch, are you rooting for Greece to get out of Group A or to get bounced?
Get bounced. Dennis already got there. Get out.
No,
bounce or advance?
Win. I want to see my boy win.
I'm with Butchie. I'm in the bounce group.
Oh.
You've done enough, Giannis. You got him in the Olympics, all right? Throw down a few dunks and get out.
It's only a couple extra games.
As always, a pleasure, my friend. The Ty Windisch podcast, the Gyro Step Podcast, covering the Bucks, NBA, and more. Thank you, buddy.
Yep. Thank you guys for having me.
Coming up, Jeff Levering will join us.